Hey everybody, today we're talking about what are the qualifications for the FHA loan. All right, so the first one is, let's talk about credit score. The minimum credit score needed is a 580. Now, you can go lower with some banks. They'll go as low as 500, but it really depends on the bank. So the FHA loan is a government-backed loan, but the banks will have what they call overlays, or they'll have their rules, which will add on top of the government rules, just what you wanted, more rules. But rule of thumb, credit score of 580, you're in business. All right, so next up is the down payment. Now, if you have a credit score of 580 or above, and they usually look at your middle scores, but I tell everybody, look, what's your lowest score? This way we're ahead of the game. So your middle score of 580 or 581, you can put down 3.5%. Now that's pretty much the standard for the FHA loan, 3.5%. I usually use 4% as a guide because you want to have a little buffer. But 3.5%, we're in business. Let's go shopping. Now, if your credit score is less than 580, you'd have to put more down instead of that 3.5%. So if you go down to a 500 score, let's say, you're going to be putting 10% down. Again, each bank has a little different rules. These are kind of a standard rule of thumb to help you get started. All right, so MIP or PMI, depends on who you ask what it's called, but a mortgage insurance premium or the private mortgage insurance is required for the FHA loan. So basically it's your insurance policy. Because you didn't put 20% down, it's usually a couple $100s a month, but it's all based on the price of the loan amount. And the different states, different laws, but in Pennsylvania, again, standardized answer is 0.8 of the loan amount is what you'll pay every month in addition to your monthly payment for the PMI, the MIP, the MIP, the PIMI, for the mortgage insurance premium, for the ability to lock in that very low down payment. Well worth it. Okay, now they want to look at your DTI. If you've ever heard of a DTI, your ditty, if you want me to sing you a little ditty, that's for another video. But your DTI, your debt to income ratio. Now, I do want to say, if you really want to get in depth in this, set up a meeting with us, hit us up, shoot me a text or send me an email, or you can talk to our friends at North Star Mortgage. Certainly go real in depth. I'm trying to give an overview here, but DTI is what we're talking about. So debt to income ratio. Now, every bank is different. Some have overlays. Some will allow you to go up to 50%, but the general rule of FHA is 43%. So 43% of what you make, FHA will loan you in addition to what you already have to pay. So let's add up all the things we can prove you have to pay. Then we add in our FHA loan, the total loan, the principal, the interest, the taxes, the insurance, the total loan amount every month has to stay at or under 43% of what you earn. So hopefully I said that right. I could say it a little different way. Let's figure out how much you make. Take 43% of that every month. Now it's your gross pay, what you gross every month. Although you don't get to take that home, so it kind of makes me scratch my head. But look, I don't make the rules, I just report them. Take what we make every month, figure out what 43% of that is. We need to keep our mortgage payment and every other payment that is required to make that we can prove, which is on our credit score or on our credit report, car payments, credit card payments, student loans, so forth, has to stay under that 43% threshold. Let's go shopping. Now, some of our lenders we work with, they do go over 50%, but when you get close to that, it really is a little bit tight. The credit score has to be a little better, so there's a lot of overlays or a lot of rules, but just keep it real, keep it in that 43% range. Plus, you'll be happier every month that you don't have to spend half of what you make. All right, so the next thing up here, FHA loan requirement, loan qualification, the house must be your primary residence. Now, I do want to point out that FHA will loan you on a multi-unit property. So you can go up to 4 residential units. Now, it has to be residential. Although I've seen the FHA loan, if you have a commercial storefront, let's say, and then you live upstairs, but they really want a major portion or most of that property to be a residential or in a residential district. So let's keep it easy. Residential, but up to 4 residential units. So let's say you have a duplex. Ever heard of live in one, rent out the other? Low down payment, live in one unit, rent out the other. They help you pay your mortgage. Who wouldn't like that? Now, it does not have to be a multi-unit, of course, but the property has to be your primary residence. You have to live at the property. All right, so the borrower must have steady income and proof of employment. So just because you promise to make your payment every month, that's not good enough. I wish it was, but although our word is gold and your word is gold too, that isn't actually gold you can take to the bank. So you have to have provable income. Now, provable is with a pay stub. Pretty easy to prove. If you ever look at the bottom of your pay stub, although probably a lot of it's electronic now, but if you ask for a pay stub, you can check it out. It tells you a year to date. Pretty provable there. Another way to prove your income is through your tax returns. You get a W-2 at the end of the year, whether you take it to your accountant or you do it yourself or you go to one of those places at the mall. That will also help you prove your income. If you don't get paid with a paycheck, or maybe you don't have a W-2, maybe you're a 1099 employee, or you work off commission, or some other variation of that, some way to prove your income, usually how you file your taxes is going to be good enough for our purposes. Now, it needs to be steady income. It can't be sporadic. You can't work for a couple of months and then take a couple of months off, although that's what we all would like to do. It needs to be steady. Now, keep in mind, in Pennsylvania, where we live, there is landscaping and there's outdoor professions that don't work maybe 2 or 3 or 4 months out of the year because it's too cold. And as long as it's consistently that way, and you're budgeting and you're able to pay your bills through those months that you're maybe not working or you have your off season, if you will, that is okay. Has to be steady, provable employment and provable income. All right, so you might be asking me, well, what if I don't have provable income? We can get a letter from your boss. We can get something filled out called a VOE, a verification of employment. Just because you might be thinking something, well, I don't match these qualifications he's going over, hit us up anyway, because there's always a way around it, if you will, or there's always a creative way to make it. I'm not saying we can't fulfill one of these obligations, but there's a way to prove our income without necessarily, I don't get a pay stub. That's fine. We can use your bank statements as an example. I don't have a bank. Look, there's a way to do it. Let's talk about credit. If you don't have any credit at all, unfortunately, it's almost as bad in a sense of having bad credit, but we can prove income with trade lines. Do you have a cell phone bill? Do you have any kind of a credit card payment? Do you pay on any payments at all? Do you have a magazine subscription? Do you have a Netflix subscription? Yes, that counts. We prove you make the payment. We can actually create credit for you. Okay, so what if I don't have a budget and I don't know how much I make? Look, I'll help you with the math. If you're not sure about your DTI, hit us up. Now, there's a really great finance calculator that we'll put the link here in the comments below. So it's consumerfinance.gov. It is a government entity, so it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of ads and so forth, not a lot of sales going on there. If you wanted to get a copy of your credit report, so there's tons of websites and freecreditreport.com and there's Credit Karma and there's a lot of these. So anything that's free is absolutely the best way to go. Yes. Now, some of them that are free require you to sign up and then they have to put a credit card in and then after some time they're actually going to start charging you. So be careful of that. Now, you are allowed to get one credit report for free every year from the credit bureaus directly. So that's my suggestion. Go there directly, call them up, hit up their website, tell me what your credit report and they'll send it. Now, the credit report that the lenders look at is actually your FICO score, so it's not always the same as it is on Credit Karma. It's not going to be drastically different. We need to see where our credit score is, and these sites are very helpful. I like free360.com, or is it 360free.com? Either way, it is free, but you have to sign up, and you must cancel. Please cancel before, or you could use their service, but cancel before they start charging you because they'll give you all 3 credit reports at once. So speaking of credit, what if you have some delinquencies? What if there are some issues on your credit report? There are certain things on there where some lenders won't give you a loan. But there are certain things on there where other lenders will give you a loan, but they might want to charge you for that. So it's really best to have a professional look at it. We don't mind doing it. Our friends at North Star Mortgage will be glad to help you with, but if you do have any questions, you can certainly hit us up. So I want to mention in Pennsylvania and in Philadelphia, we've got the PFHA loan. Now it's the Pennsylvania Financing Housing Loan. It's not really a Pennsylvania FHA loan, but I want to mention that. Why am I saying this? That each area is specific. We've done a ton of videos on this topic, so check them out certainly below. While you're checking out below, hit up the comment section and hit that thumbs up too. That helps out the channel. If you have a question, you can certainly email, call, or text us. While you're doing things, subscribing would be a wonderful suggestion as well. But if you have any other further questions, we're your local real estate experts here in Pennsylvania and worldwide. I'm Gregory Martire. Appreciate your time today, and you have a great day, everybody.